So on this one, they want us to factor out the greatest common factor of the polynomial. So how do we do that? We look at this term, and we say, hey, what do they both have in common? What do they share? Well, clearly, obviously, they share that parenthesis 2c minus 11 thing, right? But it's still a little tricky. Let me show you let's imagine that parenthesis thing was just a big W. That'll help you see how to factor, because it's a little confusing that it's a big old parenthesis thing. Imagine if it was just a W. What would you do? How would you factor? You would look at these two terms and you'd say, look, they both have a W. Put the common, right? We always put what's in common in the front, don't we? Call that the greatest common factor. Right here, greatest common factor. We put whatever they share in common in the front. And then what do we put on the inside? Well, whatever works. Got to put a minus in the middle because we have a minus in the middle. And you just make it work. Meaning, what do you mean make it work? Well, you go W times what would go back to 6CW, where you go 6C. Yeah, that's easy. And then W times what in the second spot would go back to just minus W. Well, it's going to be minus 1, isn't it? You see that? W times minus 1 will go back to minus W. Okay. So then what we did with the W, we do that, except the W is really the 2c minus 11. So this is really 2c. Let me write that a little better. 2c minus 11. And then we just have the rest of it the same. 6c minus 1. Instead of taking out a W that they share in common and putting that W in the front, leaving 6c minus 1, we take the 2c the parenthesis 2c minus 11 that they share in common and put that in the front. And then the 6c minus 1. Why 6c minus 1? Because you've removed the common element, the 2c minus 11, leaving 6c, and this is going to be minus 1, because you got to multiply by that 1 to go back to 2c minus 11. So there's the answer, just like that.